Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be making this trending bubu gown with elastic waist. If this sounds like something you are interested in, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video to your family and friends. I post sewing tutorial every week, and if you want to join my WhatsApp group, I'm going to drop the link under the comment section. You can click the link and join the WhatsApp group. These are all the measurements you are going to take. I'm going to put it on the screen for you to see. This here is the fabric I'm going to use. I have 2.5 yards of fabric here, and the length is 60 inches. This fabric moves a lot, so I will not be drafting directly on the fabric. I'll be using pattern paper to draft. So I already opened my pattern paper here, and the first thing I'm going to do is to mark a straight line. This line is going to serve as our shoulder line, and it's going to serve as our starting point as well. So the next line I want to take now is going to be the shoulder to the chest line, but because this is a free gown, so I will not be using the chest line. I'll be doing my shoulder to my bust point line. The bust point is 12 inches. So I've marked the 12 inches. I'm going to mark it again so I can get a straight line. After that, I'm going to connect this point into a straight line. The next line to mark now is my shoulder to the waistline. So I'm going to place my tape at the first line, and I'm going to mark 18 inches, which is my shoulder to my waistline. So I'll mark it again to get a straight line as well. After that, I'm going to connect all the points. I'm going to connect it into a straight line like this. The next line I need to mark now is my shoulder to my hip line, but I will not be doing that. I will do it later. So what I'm going to do now is to mark my full length. The full length I'm using for this gown is 60 inches, and which is the length of the fabric we are working with. But because this is a pattern paper, so I will just mark 52 inches. I will mark it on the pattern paper because we need to mark our full length when we are drafting. So I'll mark 52 inches, and I'm going to connect this 52 inches into a straight line as well. After I'm done connecting it, I'm going to cut it out like this. So this is it here. This is what we have. And the next thing to do now is to mark our round measurement. I'll come to the first line, and I'm going to mark my shoulder divided by 2. My shoulder divided by 2 is 8 inches. Bear in mind, I'm marking from the other side, which is the center front. So from that 8 inches, I'm going to mark my sleeve length. For the sleeve length, I mark 9 inches. Then I added extra 2 inches for folding of the sleeve. I will still increase the length when I'm cutting it on the main fabric. So I marked 9 inches and added extra 2 inches for the folding allowance. So before I continue marking my measurements, this first line is the shoulder line. The second line is the bust point line, and there is the waistline, shoulder to the waistline. The next line is the shoulder to the hip line. Please make sure you mark it when you are drafting your own. So now from this here, from the sleeve length here, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. This 1 inch is going to be for the shoulder slope. I'll come back to the starting point here, this center here, and I'm going to mark my neck width. I'm using 3 inches. You can increase your own, depends on what you want. So I'm going to connect the neck width. I'm going to connect it to meet the 1 inch slope like this. You're going to connect it together. After that, before you go ahead to mark the rest, you are going to add half inch on this line. This half inch is to join the front and the back together. So you are going to mark half inch on that line. If you use 1 inch to join your own, please add 1 inch at this point. So here, this is what we have now. So now what I will do now is I'm going to take whatever measurement I have from the center to the sleeve length. I have 19 inches. So I'm going to take that 19 inches. I'm going to mark it there. After that, I'm going to connect the slope and the measurement we have on the bust point. I'll connect it together like this. So on the bust points line, you are going to input your bust divided by 4 plus extra 3 or 4 inches. But because I want my gown to be free, I don't want it to be too tight, so I'll be using my hip measurement on the bust point line. My hip divided by 4 is 13. Then I added extra 3 inches. You can make use of your bust measurement divided by 4 on the bust point line. This depends on what you want or how much you want your gown to be free. So I'm going to take the whatever measurements I have here. So I have 16 inches, and this 16 inches is what I'll be marking on my hip line when I'm marking it. So now you come back to the waistline. You are going to input your waist divided by 4. My waist divided by 4 is 10 and a half. So I've marked the 10 and a half. Then I'm going to add extra 3 inches. You can do more than 3, depends on what you want. So I'll add extra 3 inches to it. Then I'm going to connect the bust, whatever I have on the bust point line, I'll connect it to meet the waistline like this. Now this is where I'll be marking my shoulder to my hip line. If you forgot to take your client's shoulder to the hip measurement, so this is how I always mark my own, and it always come out nice. So from the waistline, I'm going to come down by 9 inches. If you are working for a tall person, you can use 10 inches. After marking it, you are going to come back to the bust point line, which is the chest line. You are going to take whatever measurement you have on the bust point line. I have 16 inches, so I'm going to take the 16 inches, I'm going to mark it on my hip line. Whatever measurements I have on the hip line, I have 16 inches, so I'm going to take that 16 inches, I'm going to mark it till I get to the hem of the fabric. So I'll mark it till I get to the hem of the paper. Remember, we are drafting on the paper. After that, I'm going to connect it together like this. Then I'm going to take the waistline, I'm going to connect it to meet the hip line like this. So this is what we have. Now I'll come back to the waistline. From the waistline, I'm going to go up by 1 inch, and I'm going to come down by 1 inch as well. That I'm going to extend the 1 inch, I will extend it outside like this. Do the same thing on the other side. After that, you are going to take the measurement of what you have here. I have 2 inches there. I'm going to use half inch to join in. So at the end of the day, I will be left with 1 inch, which is the 1 inch for the elastic band. After that, I will extend it outside by 2 inch on the both side, and I'm going to connect it together as you can see. Then I'll come to this sharp point here. You cannot leave it like this. So I'm going to give it a curve. I'll blend it to the other line. So you blend it like this. You can use your free hand. You blend it here, and you are going to blend the other side. You are going to blend it as well. You blend it into the main line. After that, I'm going to come back to the first line here, and I'm going to mark the neck depth. From the first line, I'll come down by 1 inch. I'm using 1 inch for the neck depth. You can use 2 inches. Then I'll connect the neck width and the neck depth. I'll connect them together like this. This is the back neck depth. For the front, I'm going to come down from the first line by 3.5 inch. You can use 3 inches, you can use 4 inches, depends on how low you want it to be, but I use 3.5. And this 3.5, I'm going to connect it to meet the neck width also. So this is what we have. Remember, there is slits at the front neckline. So from the 3.5 inch, I'm going to come down by 3.5 inch also. You can do more than 3.5, depends on what you want. So from the neckline, I'm going to come in by 1/2 inch. So this 1/2 inch, I'm going to connect it to meet the 3.5 we mark. This depends on what you want. It's not a must you come in by the 3.5. I just want the slits, I want it to be a little wide. So now come to the chest line here, the bust point line. I'm going to come down by 1 inch and come out by 1 inch to give this point, this side here, to give it a curved like this. The next thing to do now is to cut it out. I'll be cutting from the neck depth for the back before I cut out the front. After I am done cutting it out, this is what we have now. So what I'm going to do is fold my fabric and cut out the back. So this is how I'm going to fold my fabric, because I want to cut the front and the back together. Remember, we already draft the two together. I'm going to take the whole 2.5 yard. I'm going to fold it into two like this. Bring the both side. I'll bring it together as you can see. After that, I'm going to fold it again, making 4 fold. You are going to take the two side, you are going to take it to meet the folded parts as you can see here. Make sure you arrange it very well. Make sure you arrange it, take your time and arrange it. After that, I'm going to bring out my pattern and I'm going to place it on it. When you are placing your pattern, make sure you are placing it on the folded part. After you are done placing it, you are going to pin it together. You are pinning the fabric and the pattern. Make sure you pin it together. After that, I'm going to start cutting it out. Then I'll add extra 2 inches like I said at the sleeve side, then cut out the side. This is it after I am done cutting it out. Before I remove the front and the back, I'm going to mark where I want the slit to be. Remember there is slit at the hemline. So I'm going to come up from the hemline by 17 inches. This is where I want my sleeve to start. Then I'm going to take it and notch it. Make sure you do this before you open your fabric. So I already notch it. So when I'm sewing it, I will know this is where I'm going to stop my sewing. After that, I'm going to remove the pins and open the fabric like this. So I will remove one. Remember, I will cut out the front and the back. So I'm going to remove one for the back and fold the other side. I'll fold it back to cut out the front neckline. Remember, the front and the back neckline is different. So I will arrange it back and place the pattern paper. I'll place it back on it like this. So I'm going to pin it back. After that, I'm going to cut out the neckline. After I am done cutting it out, this is what we have. So I'm going to separate the pattern from the main fabric. Then I will separate the front and the back and show you what we have at this point. Here, this is what we have for the front. As you can see, the slit. Your own slit can be deeper than this one, but I don't want it to be deeper. That's why I use 3.5. And this is what we have for the back. The next thing to do now is to cut out the facing. But before we cut out the facing, I'm going to add stay to the neckline because this fabric is very lightweight. So I want to add stay. This is the stay here. So I'm going to place the stay, the right side on the wrong side of the main fabric. So I'm going to place it like this and I'll cut it out. The one I'm going to use for the neckline, I'll cut it out. This is it here. So I'm going to place it on the main fabric. Remember, we are putting it on the neckline alone. Remember, this is optional, but because the fabric I'm using is very soft, that's why I'm putting stay on the neckline because we need to cut out the facing for the neckline. After that, I'm going to place it like this, right side facing wrong side of the main fabric. Then I'm going to iron it down. After you are done ironing the back, you're going to turn it to the right side and you are going to iron the right side also. After you are done ironing it, you are going to cut out the excess you have at the neckline. You cut it out here. So I'm going to repeat this same process. I'm going to repeat it for the back. After that, I will show you how to cut your facing for the neckline. So I already cut out a piece of fabric. As you can see, the smaller one is for the back while the longer one is for the front. So I already ironed the stay on it as well. This is how you are going to cut your facing for the neckline. So I already take the main fabric, I already fold it into two. Make sure you arrange the neckline. Make sure you arrange it very well. After that, you are going to take the facing now. Remember, it's on fold. So the folded part, make sure is the you are placing it underneath the main fabric like this, and you are going to place the folded parts on each other. So after you are done doing that, you are going to pin it together. You pin the facing and the main fabric. You are going to pin it together. After that, you are going to cut it out. Cutting out the facing, make sure you have more than what you have on the neckline for the main fabric. After that, you cut out the slits. You are going to cut out the slits on the facing also. So I'm going to open it up. This is what we have after that. So make sure on this straight line you have 3 inches because you are going to mark it round. So I'm going to mark where my slit is stopping. This is it here. And I'm going to check what I have here. I have 2.5 inch. You are making your own, make sure you have 3 inches. So now I'm going to come back to the straight line here and I'm going to mark 3 inches. I'm going to mark it around like this. So you are going to curve it like this. After that, you are going to cut it out. So this is what we have. If we open it up, this is what we have. As you can see, we have the same thing we have on the main fabric. Now this is how you are going to place the facing. This is how you are going to place it on the neckline. So you are going to place the right side on the right side. Make sure the right side is facing the right side. Then you are going to pin it down. After you are done pinning it, this is how you are going to sew it. You are going to sew it 1/4 inch. We are going to sew it round like this. So you are going to take it to the sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it. You are going to follow the shape here and you are going to do the same thing for the back. I already cut out the facing for the back. Make sure the right side is facing each other. Then you are going to take it and go ahead to go and sew it by 1/4 inch. But if you want your neckline to be too wide, you can use 1/2 inch, but I'm using 1/4 inch. So this is what we have after I am done sewing the facing to the main fabric. So I'm going to notch it round. Make sure you are not notching your seam line, just notch it so your neckline can relax. So after that, I will open up the facing like this and I'll go ahead to go and top stitch on the facing, not the main fabric, please. You are going to top stitch on the facing. I will do the same thing for the back, then come back to show you the next thing to do. So this is what we have after I am done top stitching it and I went ahead to iron it so it can lay flat. So this is the back and this is what we have for the front, as you can see here. This is what we have for the back as well. As you can see here, this is it here. This is the wrong side and this is what we have. The next thing to do now is to join the both shoulders, to join them together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place it like this. This is the right side. The right side is facing me. So I'm going to place the other side. I'm going to place it also. Make sure the right side is facing each other. Then you are going to align the shoulder line. You are going to align it like this. After that, you are going to take the facing now. You are going to open up the facing like this. Still making sure that the right side is facing the right side. So I'm going to take the seam line on the facing. I'm going to align it with each other like this. Then I'm going to pin it together. So you are going to pin it down. We'll repeat the same process for the other side as well. So you are going to open the facing, open it up, and you are going to pin it together. After you are done pinning it, you are going to take it to your sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it by the 1/2 inch or 1 inch you added when you are cutting it out. So I'll go ahead to go and sew the both shoulders, then come back to show you the next thing to do. After I am done sewing it, as you can see, this is what we have now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the main fabric. I'll open it up. So after I open it up, this is what we have. So I'll open up the seam line. I'll open it up like this. I'll do the same thing on this other side. After that, you are going to press it down. Finish up the neckline. I'll be putting my hemi gum. I'll be putting it on the facing like this. You open up the facing and place it in between the main fabric, the facing and the main fabric. You are going to put it there like this. After that, you are going to iron it down. After I am done ironing it, as you can see, this is what we have for the neckline. So the next thing to do now is to fold the sleeve part. You are going to sew it by the allowance you added when you are cutting it out. I added 2 inches, so I'm going to fold it by 1 inch and fold it again. So I will take it to my sewing machine and go ahead to sew it. I will do the same thing for the other sleeve as well. After I am done sewing it, this is what we have for the two sleeve. As you can see here, this is what we have. The next thing to do is to go ahead to go and join the side. So I'm going to fold the front and the back. I'm going to fold it together like this, and I'm going to pin it. Make sure you pin it very well, especially if you are working for the type of fabric I'm working with. So you are going to arrange it very well. Then remember the notch we mark earlier. The notch we make is where you are going to be stopping your sewing. So I'll pin the other side also. After I am done pinning it, this is what we are going to have at this point. So the next thing to do now is to go ahead to go and sew it down. So here, this is how I'm going to sew it. I'm sewing it by 1 inch from the sleeve part. Then when I get to this point, I will reduce it by half of an inch. So you are going to sew it. Remember that point is going to be open. Then I'm going to stop when I get to my notch part. This is where I'm going to be stopping it, and this is the slit here. So make sure whatever you have here, you have more than 1 inch when you are done sewing it. So you are going to sew it like this. So you take it and stop here, then continue from this side. Make sure you did not sew this point here, because this is where we are going to be attaching the elastic band. So this is it. After I am done sewing it, this is what we have. As you can see, the opening here, I did not touch this point, as you can see here. And this is the second point. So here, this is the slit. This is the slit here. You can make your own longer than this. So the next thing to do now is I'm going to turn it to the right side so we can measure where we want the elastic to be. So I already turned it to the right side. As you can see, the opening here, this is the elastic point where we are going to attach the elastic. This is the other side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay it flat, then measure it. So from the opening point, which is the waistline, I'm going to take whatever measurement I have there to the other side. So I have 29 inches there. I'm going to add extra 3 to 2 inches to it when I'm cutting it out. So this is the fabric that we are going to put our elastic inside. This is the casing we are using. I have 32 inches, like I said. I have 32 inches by 3.5 inches. We are using 1 inch elastic. If you are using more than 1 inch elastic, you are going to make your wideness to be longer. After that, I'm going to fold this into two like this. Then take it to my sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it by 1/4 inch. So I'll go ahead to sew it down. After I am done sewing it, this is what we have at this point. So I'll go ahead to go and iron it down, and when I'm doing that, I will make sure the seam line is at the center, not the side. The seam line, I want to hide it, so it's going to be at the center. Just watch what I'm doing there, as you can see there. So after I am done, this is what we have at this point. So this is the elastic we are using. So this is it. As you can see, this is the casing and this is the elastic. So now you are going to know the amount of elastic you are going to cut out. I divided my waist into two, but I later noticed the elastic is too big. So this is it, 1 inch elastic. So when you are cutting your own, divide your waist into two, then remove like 5 inches from it. Divide your waist into two, then remove 5 to 6 inches, depends on how tight you want the waist to be. So now I'm going to cut it out. After that, this is how it's going to be when you are done inserting it. Now insert the elastic into the main fabric. So just insert it like this. Take your time and arrange it. When you get to this second point, when your elastic is out, you are going to pin it down so the elastic will not go inside again. Then you are going to arrange the second one also. Make sure you are pinning it so your elastic will not get inside. After that, you are going to pin the both side. So this is what we have now, as you can see here. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to go ahead to go and sew it. When you are sewing it, make sure you sew it like 3 times so your elastic will not get inside. After you are done sewing it, as you can see here, this is what we have now. So the next thing to do now is to attach this elastic to the main fabric. So to do that, I already turned the fabric, I already turned it to the wrong side. As you can see here, this is how the back is going to be. Remember, we are putting it at the back, not the front. So I'm going to open the fabric now. So I'm going to put the elastic in between the front and the back. Remember, this is, I already turned it to the wrong side. So you are going to attach it like this, and when you are attaching it, make sure the sewing line, make sure is inside, not outside. So I'm going to insert it through the space we left for the elastic here. So you are going to bring it out. After that, you are going to pin it together. Make sure you arrange it very well, then pin it. After you are done pinning it, you are going to put your hand inside again, and you are going to take the elastic and insert it through the second opening. After you are done inserting it, you are going to pin the other side. You are going to pin it also. Then the next thing to do now is to take it to the sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it down. Make sure you sew it, double stitch this point here, and you are going to do the same thing for the other side. When I'm done sewing it, this is what we have. So this is how the elastic is, as you can see, and I'll go ahead to turn it to the right side for you to see. So after I am done turning it, this is the back. As you can see here, this is the back here, this is the elastic. You can use more than 1 inch elastic, depends on how wide you want that band to be. The next thing to do now is to go ahead to go and finish up the slit here. So I'm going to fold the slit, I'm going to fold it down like this, and I'm going to sew it. I'll sew the both side. After that, I will finish up the hem line by the allowance I added. I'll come back to show you the final look. Here, this is the final look. If you have watched this video to this point, thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to your family and friends. I will see you in my next video. Bye.